such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now? I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'm the greatest nightmare you've ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid
of. They're here. There we go. Good evening, everybody. Lex, how are you today?
I am well. I'm here. How are you?
Oh man, it is going well. I wish I had my foil hat on for today, but I think I'll be safe. I'll be okay.
I think we're pretty safe
for this time.
We might be the aliens ourselves. We never know.
That would be a very cool. I think there was a movie like that, wasn't there? Where like an alien lands on the planet and like, oh my god, I gotta get away from these crazy things. And we're the crazy things.
I'm pretty sure there's a couple.
There's gotta be at least one, because that's a pretty good like hypothesis.
I think one of my favorite alien movies is Paul. You remember that movie?
That was pretty damn good. That was solid.
That's a good movie.
What do you call? I loved. Oh my gosh, what's his name?
What's up, Richard?
What's up?
Say hey to Richard.
Oh yeah, Richard right there. Oh yeah, hello Richard. How you doing? Gosh dang it, he plays the FBI, or he plays like an FBI agent or something, or Men in Black. And he's, I think his last name's Heater or something. I can't remember, but he's hilarious. It's been a minute. I'm not gonna lie, but I do love that movie.
Gonna have to see what that's about.
All right. So today, if you guys kind of get the hint, aliens, creatures, not Black Lagoon creatures, so don't worry. We're talking about some alien encounters, and in this case, some pretty out there abduction stories from three in particular people. It is a couple known as Clayton and Donna Lee, and the more widely known one between these stories, Jesse Long. Mm-hmm. Definitely a deep cut story here. I think I don't know. I think we should do the couple first. What do you think? I feel like
I think so, because that one was kind of I've listened to like multiple podcasts, and it kind of like kept taking me to like kind of like a dead end kind of thing.
Same. Yeah, I was really happy.
Yeah, this story, it felt like they were being mocked and made fun of more than being researched. So,
unfortunately, yeah, I think it happens a lot, honestly. Because
I would guess so, because like some of these like things that they say about these people, I would look at them kind of weird too. Like, you did what? What happened?
All right. Well, why are you telling me this? Get away from me now.
Right.
No. I tend to like to listen to these kind of stories. So if people have weird, like, whether it's alien, ghost, cryptid, human, whatever it might be,
abnormal, bring it my way.
Exactly. Yes, I want to hear more. I want to believe, like the X-Files. Right? I want to believe.
Yeah.
And I do believe these guys. Like I got to watch their interview on Fox. It wasn't very long. It was only like 5 minutes. So if you guys want to watch that, I can put the link in the description. But I don't want to play it because I think Fox might copyright us. Or unfortunately, I can't throw it on.
Yeah.
But they seem very straightforward. They seem very collected for what they've been through, and they weren't steering away from any questions. Like, what the hell is it's not Bill O'Reilly? I don't think, but it might be, because these guys all blend together for me. I'm not gonna lie. All these Fox reporters,
yeah,
they look exactly the same. So I don't know their names very well. I apologize. But anyway, anytime you ask them anything, they were very straightforward with the answer, or they at least like listen to what he has to say. They weren't defensive, like if he didn't agree with them, or they weren't backpedaling at any kind of point. So it seemed very much like no matter what you believe, they really believe they were abducted. If
Right.
that makes sense.
Right. And the biggest thing, like most of these stories, is like they're not selling their story. They just want their story to be told. So they weren't even looking for any kind of payment or publicity or anything. They were just like, hey, you know, this stuff is going on. Let's tell everybody about it. So, and then seeing like the similarities between both of the stories is actually kind of like, maybe
I
this.
agree with that. Excuse me. Sorry. No, that's a very good point. The similar. I didn't even think about that. They kind of line up together.
Mhm.
Oh,
Like in
God.
their description of what the aliens looked like.
Yeah. What? Because there's. I mean, there's tropes of aliens like from back in the day, from like the little green men to the grays to the blondes, the really tall ones.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think you believe in more? Like, if there's one particular one, like this feels more true to me. What do you think you would agree
You know,
with?
their description of it being tall and kind of human-like doesn't really surprise me. I would think that they would kind of look human-like because you know they're studying us. So you would think to fit in with us, they would kind of learn how to like shape. They would have to like be able to shapeshift or somehow, or you know, like adapt to our environment to kind of see how we work and how we tick and how we do things. I can kind of see them kind of looking like us to kind of blend in and fit in and to do their research. And not to mention that both of these stories mentioned reproducing. So
Yeah.
who are we to say that they're not actually taking our DNA and mixing it with their DNA to make it look more like us too, or make their own species or whatever? So I would think they look like us, if anything.
I like this, Richard. Sorry. Pretty sure the ones that have to study Earth lost a bet. Yeah, they got the shitty assignment. Like, there's somewhere out there. There's like a race of like flying Superman type people, and then they got like the cool assignment. And
Pull
then
the
there's
short straws, rock, paper, scissors. Who gets Earth? Rock, paper, scissors.
yeah. It's like, oh, I get to go to a steak restaurant, or I get to go to Denny's when it's closing. So you go over there. Go deal with it. Shit.
Damn.
I would have preferred, if I was the alien, I'm just saying right now, Richard, I would prefer this gig, because even if you mess up, no one's really going to care, you know? You get to skirt by on responsibilities, or you ruin whatever plan they're having, especially like you said, Lex, with the crossbreeding. That's such a crazy thought to me, but there's a couple movies where they're talking about like DNA of another species getting ruined, so they're trying to like use ours to fix it or something, almost like Jurassic Park 2, like
Right.
where they like have to fill in the code with the frog DNA. I don't know.
Like,
All I know is that it sounds smart enough where I believe it, but dumb enough where I can understand it a little bit.
right.
So I appreciate it.
Are you familiar with American Horror Story?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so there's not a whole series on it, but like at the end of a series, which is kind of weird because it's like totally different subject, and then it like bam goes to aliens, and I'm like, whoa. But they have like a little section in American Horror Story where it's aliens and they kidnap a whole bunch of like teenagers and kids and stuff, and the men get pregnant and birth alien babies, and they try and try again until that species is like perfect human and alien, and if it's not, they kill it instantly. So they're like producing and like doing all these experiments, and like, so I was like, I can see it. I can totally see it.
That sounds like Disney execs trying to make the next Miley Cyrus right there. Just kill it before it gets too far along.
Exactly.
But no, I totally missed that one. Then I was thinking the aliens that I remember from American Horror Story was in the asylum one, where
I do remember that one.
I loved that season. I got to catch up though, because I'm like a couple seasons behind now. I realize.
I think
So I
like
definitely will look for that.
I think it's like the third from the last. Like if you watch like the whole thing, it's like the last 4 episodes of that series. They like totally flip it and change it to something totally different, and it's like an alien lab, and like the head alien doctor, whatever, she is human and alien. So like half of her face is just like this big alien eye, and then she's human, and it's just wild.
Gosh dang it. Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta catch up, yeah. And for the record too, If I get pregnant with alien baby, I still am going to register for gifts, no matter what I give birth to. So you better be prepared to get a onesie with like 12 legs or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, I need help. All right, because I don't know how to raise no baby by myself. It's very difficult.
Little dad problems.
I know. I'm gonna get more fat. I don't like it. I'm gonna get all emotional. I don't care for that. But you never know. You never know. Maybe we got it wrong in the beginning of our DNA. Maybe guys should have been able to get pregnant too from the beginning. Maybe that causes a lot of problems. Maybe
then you guys didn't know what the hell you're talking about when you're talking about women bodies.
I know, because I don't know nothing. That'll be the truth right there. I know they also have 2 legs and 2 arms like dudes. I know that, like pretty sure. Not definitive proof, pretty sure. Got a good noggin on most heads. I've seen that. Smart. And that's about my knowledge. That's all the lady knowledge I have. So I'm gonna just admit that and move on, because I know more about aliens, I think, than women. So yeah, that's I think that's fair. All right. Now, nobody mentioned that ever again on the internet, please. Don't tell anyone. But back to this couple. I didn't realize I think you pitched the idea of these guys. Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, Gary, I didn't mean to ignore you, brother.
Hi, Gary.
When I saw a married couple, I assumed that they were abducted together, but it looks like they had separate stories and then met later on in life. Is that something you came across too?
I kind of got that gif. Like, he was abducted when he was like a little bit younger, and then once they got together, I think they were abducted together like a couple of times together. But before then, throughout their childhood, I think they claimed to have been taken. Mommy.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Oh, sorry, Rich. Yes. Mr. Mom Miguel. Yes, that's a triple X. But it actually kind of reminds me of the Coronado experiment or Coronado incident. Have you heard about that one?
I have not.
So basically, it was a convention of alien and UFO enthusiasts and some people who had experienced like encounters, maybe not abductions at the time, but they have seen stuff or they believe and are researching. And at their convention, a lot of them ended up getting experimented on or visited one night, to a point where one person had a lesion on their private area, like right on the side of his junk. A lot of them were like traumatized the next morning, and it was a group experiment or experience with, I would say, like a dozen, maybe a little bit less, maybe 10 or 9 people who all experienced an alien encounter at the same time. And it was a similar situation because this couple obviously knew about aliens beforehand. They had their own experiences, and then together they had something, I wouldn't say bigger, but at least they had more together. And
Right.
These people who knew each other, but they weren't as close, obviously, as a married couple, but they were familiar with each other. They were friends for the most part, or acquaintances. Some of them stayed in the same rooms just to save money, because there's not a lot of money in alien research, let's be honest.
Mhm.
So they all ended up with some horrific stories, and very little of it, like there's very little variations. Like they were pretty much on the nose with each other as far as what happened. Just some of it happened to have it worse than others, and a couple of them came out like, "Oh, this is a nice experience." Like, "Oh, I can't believe this happened to me." While the others were just haunted by it. Like, it did not go well.
Huh.
So,
Hey, you never know, Gary. You never really know. I question some people sometimes.
have you seen what? Oh my goodness, Gary, what is her name? Gosh dang it, it's an actress. She kind of looks like an alien to me, and I think she's a really good actress though, so it's okay. Like if she's an alien, totally cool with it. I'll remember her name sooner or later. Don't worry. But all I can say is that as long as you're super cool and you're not like harvesting human beings, be an alien and that's all you want.
Well, I guess.
One more time.
As long as you're not probing people, I guess. Like, stay in your lane, please.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you better get some probing consent. Some forms better be filled out. Oh my gosh, Madonna would be one. Yeah, definitely, Gary. Madonna's on that list.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought Lady Gaga was one for a hot minute.
Who?
while my own giant telescope research center in the middle of nowhere, like an episode of The Simpsons. Heck yeah, Richard.
I like where your head's at. I like that. I also like those giant the space microphones where they're just listening to stuff, because the noises they're getting back from like radiation of planets or star clusters and stuff is friggin' haunting but awesome at the same time, because it's just noise bouncing off of the radiation coming from planets or different stuff out in the universe.
Oh.
And it makes some very creepy and sometimes musical notes that it's just, if it's not something else out there, it just shows how amazing the universe really is. It's just creating something, and it becomes synchronicities, because that's the best way we can work. You know, like the reason that a lightning bolt, a river, and the roots of a tree all look the same is because it's just the best way for nature to do its course.
Right.
So the fact, it's insanely awesome to see that kind of stuff. And I think it would make sense that there would be other life somewhere else, because it just makes sense that it would live too.
There has to be. There can't just be us.
And we're boring for that.
More. But it does not just end there. I mean, no. No,
I totally agree with that. But have you heard that theory of I think it's called overconsciousness or self-destruction path or something? Basically, like once we get to a certain stage of evolution, like every civilization, we get so big and advanced that we just end up falling upon ourselves. Like it just crumbles, not because of anything outside, but just we use too much technology, and then we end up killing ourselves, and no more civilization after that.
I can see it. I can see it happening now. We're getting there. We're getting there.
I kind of blame like Elon Musk and those guys, like a little bit.
Right.
Like I don't. We don't need the brain chip or whatever he's doing right now. Like this is not gonna help. But all right, back to the couple real quick. So yeah, from the time of the interview, because this was quite a bit ago.
December 2005 was the last interview.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I got to. So it's 2005. Yeah, this was literally 20 years ago then, because she was she mentioned on the thing that the last time she remembered being abducted was 2 years prior to that interview. So that's 2003, 20 years ago. So she literally doesn't like, how do I put this? She's not making anything up. It's not like it's happening every night to her. You know, it's not what's the word? She's not embellishing, and it's not like they're trying to make it a tabloid story, because it's very matter of fact. No willing to take lie detector tests, because they're not trying to prove it to anybody. They're just trying to say what they've experienced, and I appreciate that.
Right.
So I don't know. I kind of very much believe Donna and Clayton Lee. I don't know. What do you think? Do you believe those guys?
I believe them. You know, every time they asked like the same story in every single podcast or interview, they said the same thing. They were blunt. They didn't go into like extravagant detail. They were like straight and to the point. This is what I saw. This is what they looked like. This is what the room looked like to the T. Like even both of them in separated rooms interviewed. They both said the metal table. They both described the aliens as tall. Both said they were slender. Both said they were like human-like. You know, they both it just kind of just lined up. So I kind of believe them. And then for Clayton to come out with a scar, like a weird shaped scar, is I was like, okay, maybe they are telling the truth. Like
the physical proof kind of definitely plays into that. And I think like you said, them having the same story, not just similar, but basically like verbatim of each other, not changing over years. It goes into another case. I think Richard actually brought it up. The fire in the sky, is it Jim Walton or something Walton story? Richard, help me out if you remember his name. But it was a group of lumberjacks in New Mexico that one of them was abducted, and he was taken for like 4 days, and they all saw him get taken basically. And to this day, I think they're all still alive. I don't think it was that long ago. they all remember the exact same story, and he sticks to what happened to him like over and over again. Interviews, books, whatever it might be, sitting in a bar because someone won't stop bugging him about it. It's always the same story, and it's always the exact same, not over the top, not changing anything to make it more exciting. Travis Walton, thank you. Travis Walton, yes. The Fire in the Sky movie is really cool, by the way. If you haven't seen it, definitely check that out.
I've not seen that. I'm gonna have to see that.
Definitely worth the watch. But they were just lumberjacks doing lumberjack stuff, you know, talking to beavers or something, and then abducted. You know, it's
Hi.
there's so many like reasons people trying to disprove him, but it's one of those stories where the doubt is so much less than the story itself. So it's really cool to see that stuff. And I think, like you said, the way that Donna and Clayton they're not just sticking to a story, it's their actual life. That's what happened to them, you know. They don't believe anything else.
It's not even when they tell it, it's not even like a story that they need to tell. It's just like facts verbatim. Yeah. This was the room, this was the table, this was what the man looked like, this is what they did to me, this is what happened, like, and then we were left here, and this is how they talked to us, and they kind of just went down the list. Like, it's like they were kind of like spies and like, hey, this is what they're doing. Not, oh, let's like paint this pretty little picture for everybody. No, it was just like fact. And then each of them compared, they were the same. It was just like wild. And the thing that was really like crazy to me is that they didn't really remember all of it, which is like not surprising because like they can wipe your mind. Because they don't want their secrets getting out. They want to keep it hush hush. Your science experiment. So I can see that, like, I can believe that mind getting erased, don't remember it. But they went under like hypnosis to remember everything. And I was like, oh, okay, now I'm starting to actually believe this because hypnosis actually helps a lot with lost memory.
Yeah, it's a difference between like
it's like
what's those, gosh dang it, the Scientologists who will talk to themselves until they remember something versus somebody helping you actually go through the experience again.
It's like locking into your subconscious and actually like it's just mind-blowing to me, just the hypnosis part, like how people could go do that regression and everything. So that was like, wow, okay, maybe I do believe them because I have heard a lot about hypnosis regressions. So I was like,
And that actually goes into our next one pretty well too, because I watched like clips of his, and it was friggin' terrifying.
Yeah,
like, I was because there was another movie with gosh, I had the biggest crush on this lady. Why I can't remember her name? Mila Jovovich. Yeah, from Resident Evil and all that stuff. And
love her.
I know. Oh my gosh, like still love her. But she was also in another one called The Fourth Kind, which was based on a real story of a regression hypnotherapist leading patients back, and they would cut between the footage from the movie and the footage from her recordings. It's fucking scary. Oh my god, it gets me so good.
What is it called? The Fourth Kind?
The Fourth Kind. Yeah, definitely check that out.
I'm gonna have
and then shoot, before we even go into the next one, Richard, if you can talk to that band, or if you have any way, or let me know how to contact them, I would love to get them on the show to talk about that. Aliens in the Colorado mountains. I am on board.
Richard coming in clutch.
Yeah, I believe in you, Richard. You got this. But I think we can go over to our next buddy here, and oh man, this picture is really tiny. Sorry guys, I apologize. I thought it was better.
With your post on the Facebook when you said that we got abducted by aliens, because we didn't do last week, it made me laugh because the Clayton and Donna Lee story is based out of Texas and I'm in Texas, and I was like, that's funny.
No, I was like, if you get abducted, I'm gonna be very disappointed in you, young lady. Like, not allowed to do that.
He's up there so you guys can see. Hey, what up? Live UFO.
Yeah, if they would let you like do a show from there, maybe we can like, I don't know, that could work.
They would send my ass back. You guys know this. Talks too much, too loud.
No, they would be lucky to have you aboard I mean, I don't know how many alien babies you want to have though, because it seems like
Oh
this
God.
next dude said 9. I think he had 9 kids or something.
I
So
know.
that's insane.
Poor guy.
Let's see. Is that? Let me get to this. Okay, there we go. Better picture of him there. Basically the same picture, but yeah, I got to listen to a good amount of him talk and him talk about his experiences, and they had like some reenactments of what he said happened to him. And if even a little bit of it's true, if they took him and they did that stuff, I don't want to meet these aliens ever because I don't. No, thank you.
What's trippy is like how calm and like mellow tone he is when he's telling the story. It's like it's kind of scary. And then you like think about everything that he's been through and his 9 kids, and you're like, how are you this well put together right now?
Yeah, I'm not one of those people who will do that. If something bad happens to me, I'm gonna freak out on people and just like,
yeah, I would be like, no. Mm-mm.
not like that. Not so they took me up there and they experimented on me and they inserted things in my body. Like, no, it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be, I'm gonna be crying. I'm gonna be like, they did this to me, Mark.
All traumatized. They did this to me.
This is bullshit.
You know, I have 9 kids. 9.
I need a GoFundMe for these babies. I don't know what they eat. But the way he talks about the kids too is kind of remarkable. I know I'm hopping around a little bit here, but just it's the part that sticks out most to me because they even have like that little piece of like glass implant that he says is alien and oh gosh dang it. Okay, let's go back. Sorry, let's go back to the beginning.
So Jesse Long got abducted. The first time he got abducted was like what, 1957 when he was 5.
Yes,
I think that's about right. So he was about 5 years old when he got first abducted. That was in like 1950s. Originally from Tennessee. He found it. He actually came across them. Actually found like this kind of like round house kind of thing under construction is what he thought it was on top of the hill. And he came across a tall man that was outside of this house with a rod in his hand, and he just said that a light came through, and he was paralyzed, couldn't move, and they took him. Another story, he had to go through like hypnosis to remember what happened, but he like same thing, described the cold metal table, described the blank white walls, described the tall human-like. I think he said one of them was blonde.
Yeah. Him and Donna also talked about blonde people.
Blonde hair. Yeah. So same thing. He said they were human-like. They were tall. Men didn't say anything, didn't speak. They kind of like did like the telekinesis kind of communication. And then, like you said, with the rod, when he got older, they were abducting him like throughout randomly, and they put in this kind of like chip in his shin, and it looked like a shard of glass. And when they took it out, I think it was in there for 30 years, 34 years.
I think he said 34, if I remember correctly. It was decades of being inside of him.
So they were just poking and prodding him, and he had this like chip in his shin for like 34 years, and I believe that was their tracking system on him to know where he's at, what he's doing, and that's how he was like abducted all those times. And when they took it out, it just looked like glass, but as like the forensics looked closer, they've seen a texture that they have never seen ever before.
That's what got to me right there. Yeah, like
me too. I was like, it looks like glass, but then as they zoomed into it, it looked like kind of like fish scales, but not kind of like fish scales, kind of. But they couldn't even identify it. It wasn't glass.
Yeah, like have you ever heard of those people like they can write on rice and stuff, like really tiny imprints and whatnot?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So even if it was just a piece of glass that was really, really expertly, like world-class expertly designed, where it's a design on there, there's no way a child is going to be able to do that, shove it into his leg, and then leave it there for that many. It's not like he did this to himself.
Right. It was tiny
yeah.
tiny little shard of glass.
Yeah,
Black.
I'm gonna see if I can't find the picture of it real quick. I'm sorry. Keep going if you want. I'm gonna take a quick internet search on this.
So they removed that in 1991 is when they removed that. After that is where it kind of like the story kind of escalated. When he got more older and he got like more mature, they started taking sperm samples from him, is what he claimed. He was forced to crossbreed, so he did have intercourse with one of the aliens. He says he was paralyzed, strapped to the table, and they forced him to procreate with her.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have been nicer about that. Like,
Right.
if you're gonna, how do I put this? Maybe they're not that bad looking. Just wine and dine the guy a little bit. Maybe treat him nice.
You never know. Like, yeah, a little smooth action. I don't know.
Just a little. Yeah, I mean, if they're tall blonde people, I mean, that's usually not a bad sign. I mean, probably very handsome ladies in the alien world. Good for them. To biocircuitry chip. Honestly, I don't know what it was other than I think it was.
I don't even know.
Well, that would make sense, Gary. But I think, as Lex said, like it's just a tracker. Like the same way that we put tags on certain fish and certain wildlife in general.
Yeah, on our dogs.
Yeah. Same way. They just want to be able to know where he's at, so they can kind of like scoop him up, do it again. Have him spend some time with his kids, kind of like an intergalactic CPS situation. I don't know. Whatever it is, it obviously was not supposed to be there in your body. That's number one.
I'm trying to find it too. Jesse,
I can't find the picture of it at all. You know what? I found one that's similar though, so I'll pull that one up in just a second if I can. Okay, here we. Gosh dang, they're all so tiny. No, this isn't even it. No, I'm not going to show that because it's just a little tiny piece of metal. Honestly, it doesn't look like glass at all. The point being, though, again, like we said, it's very small. It is very interesting, and it was there for so long without breaking inside of his body. I think somebody brought up a point that once it was removed, it was almost designed to break, so it couldn't be studied. Kind of like if a government ever loses certain technology, like in the field, they will destroy it so other people can't get a hold of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a really fancy helicopter they had that crashed during the Bin Laden raid, and they actually ended up destroying it completely so they wouldn't leave it there after the fact. So nobody could study it, nobody could use it to get any information out of it. So they might have had a system where it's supposed to, I guess, excuse me, fall apart.
That would make a lot of sense too.
So you're saying not to trust blondes. I've learned that from a very young age. Don't trust blondes. Yeah, very dangerous, very cunning. Those blonde ladies just after your money and to make you alien babies. That's all they want. That's all they want.
That seriously though.
It's terrible. It's terrible. They'll get you on Maury like you are the father of Clapton 3. But it's fine. It's fine. Gosh dang it. So yeah, he was talking to Stan Friedman, I believe is the interview I was hearing, or the is this the one? No, sorry. Whitley Strieber is the one who wrote Communion. Sorry. And he interviewed a whole bunch of people, and one of the stories that he always came back to was the Jesse Long story. Just for the amount of detail he could give, whether it was the regression or just bits and pieces that he could remember from the haze that is, well, a lot, like you said, I think, like you brought it up, a lot of them have severe memory loss after these situations, because I think to forget would make you a better target for later on, because they don't want messed up people to be experimenting on. They're trying to find normal humans and just trying to check them out over a period of time. So if you...
Their mouth shut either, so like they don't want all their information out.
Oh, yeah, no.
So then they're gonna have a lot of targets on their back if they were to like be investigated. You know what I mean? Like
100%. Yeah.
Like hush hush. Like they don't like, the more you don't know, the better they can like research you and actually see like how you tick.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah. So it's a matter of not privacy, but a matter of secrecy, so they could continue to do
secrecy, manipulation. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It would be very difficult, to continue to, especially if it's the same person. Like you keep checking up on this guy, for instance, on Jesse, if he knew everything that was happening to him, because it would be very easy to then, okay, they come in this kind of pattern. It's going to happen this often, and then somebody who he trusts can be there to record it. It would be no different than if someone's breaking into your backyard, like into like your shed or something, but they do it on the regular pattern, so you know exactly when to stop them.
Right. And they might be like really, really smart, because like who knows, like if you remember what we look like, you can recognize us and fight back, and we won't be able to get to what we need to, or probe you like we want to, because you'll be fighting back because you'll remember.
Yep. You can't have that. It's it would not lead for good experiments if you're having people fight back all the time.
Right.
It is what it is. But he did mention that he had a chance to again meet all of his kids. He said there was 9 of them all together in various races and species, but clearly like half human, half alien. And at the time, he said from at least the interview I saw that none of them were any kind of like harm or anything, so they were being taken care of, and they knew who he was.
Right.
So to a certain extent, like these experiments, I would take that as they're going kind of well then. And this was, how long ago was his experience? Like this was at least like, again, 15 years old.
Yeah, his was more like 1950s to like the early 2000s.
Yeah, so we're looking at 30 years almost then. What technology or what experiments have progressed since then? Bringing up Gary's point, do you think there are hybrids amongst us? Could they, excuse me, already be good enough where we just don't know anymore?
I really wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of famous people, and I saw this on a little list while looking this stuff up, of just celebrities, because everyone likes celebrities who believe in aliens, who would agree with all of this. And obviously the most famous alien, probably baby maker of all time, William Shatner, definitely believes in aliens. But it goes all the way up to a politician here, and I'm gonna see, Lexa, if you can guess it. I'll give you a couple of hints. He was a presidential candidate. That's the only one. That's the only thing I can give away. See if you can guess who it is.
Kanye West.
Nope. He's a actual like viable candidate. Even though I didn't care for him, like he could have actually won.
Oh, I don't know then, because I don't really follow it.
Smart. That's probably for the best, honestly, because they're all a bunch of liars.
They're all horrible.
All of them, including this guy. Although the fact that he admitted to it, I thought was kind of weird. Bernie Sanders. Friggin' Sanders. Yep.
What?
Believes in aliens. Yep. So a guy who's been in the government since before, I think dinosaurs were dead, basically, believes in aliens. So there's got to be something in there they're not friggin' telling us.
There has to be.
But whatever. I mean, I think
need to bring up Area 51 again.
No, wouldn't be a bad idea. Just let us see what's going on. What are we gonna do now? We're already too busy with our phones and internet memes. We're not gonna care if there's aliens anymore. Just let's see it. Let's check it out.
Oh, cool. Aliens. Awesome.
That's about it. Yeah. That's like, oh, okay, alien. I would be
in our
excited.
world today. Some people will be like, kink unlocked. Ding.
Oh my god. Well, all right. No, I don't want to judge yet because I don't know what they look like. So
I would not put it past people nowadays. Oh my god.
I'm just saying, what if they're very attractive aliens? I'm just saying. Think about it.
Who knows? There aren't any right now, so I don't know.
True. Yeah. Like who's your favorite celebrity crush right now? Just if you could
Ryan
think one off.
Come on now.
Easy peasy. Great one. Yeah, great call.
Hands down.
What if there was a bunch of just like a Ryan Reynolds species of aliens, just running around? Like, what you gonna do? You know,
for everybody, we don't have to fight over one anymore. Whoop, whoop.
that's a good point. That's a very solid point. Yeah, there's a
fuck here, bitch.
Get to the side. What do you call it? But yeah, that's. I'm sure. Like you're absolutely right. Like the moment we know aliens, and right there, Richard, the child support. We're gonna see new episodes of Maury, where it's Chelsea from Mobile, Alabama, trying to convince Clacktar it's his baby, and they're gonna have some real awkward conversations on national TV, and I would love that. I want to see.
Be like kind of like I can see it kind of being like District 9 status.
Oh,
where we have like they have their area, we have our area.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I just watched that the other day too.
Good movie. It was way under the radar when it came out. I think like that would be another good one to talk about. I think we should do. I know we did Aliens this week, but we should do like an alien movie for next week. Like we'll go back to Tubi or something.
Hell yeah!
All right, and that's all I got honestly for this time, guys.
These they were pretty easy peasy.
Yeah, but definitely some of the bigger name ones. We have a full list, guys. So if you like the alien topics, we can go into it more often. I think we'll switch it up after next week, though. Yeah,
If there's any that you guys want us to like talk and like bullshit over, send it our way.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, like really appreciate it, Richard. Send me the name of that band, and I'll do my best to reach out because I want to. I know it's more alien, but I think that would be really awesome to get someone else's experience on camera. I've always been super into that kind of stuff. And again, it might be completely different than anything we've talked about before. It might be exactly what we're looking for. Missing piece. So this is what it is. But other than that, that's all I got. Lex, is there anything you want to let them know before we go?
Nope. Party hardy.
All right, people, do it. If you're gonna make a baby with an alien, maybe go to the free clinic first, make sure they're tested. You don't want space diseases because can't handle that. Yeah. Y'all have a good one.
Night, guys.
Have a good one. Bye.